Yeah.
You know, turn the cameras. This is private. We don't want you here. We don't want this. And then it was trying to help other people. By that time, my other aunt and uncles had showed up. And it was just kind of, we were all sitting in the garage. They'd locked the garage. We were all sitting in there. The coroner, a bunch of the detectives and police were all there. And of course, they wanted to ask a bunch of questions. And then all we were trying to do is figure out who and why. That was we knew they were gone. So the next was, who could it be? Why did they do it? How did it happen?
Yes.
That brutality,
And to take the time to bind them up like that.
The one thing that was hardest for me that Christmas in '84, I'd bought, back then boom boxes were big.
Yeah.
Well, my grandparents, they weren't boom box people, but I bought them just a little one speaker radio. And the cord that they used to tie my grandpa up with was from that radio. It had sat in the kitchen, and they'd ripped the cord out and tied him up and shoved a stocking down his throat. And he had always told us, if you ever need cash, I got some cold cash. And we always, Papa, you're crazy. We don't need anything. Growing up in the Depression, he always liked to keep a little bit on him, not enough to flaunt, but he dealt in used cars, guns, cars, whatever. So if he could trade, he always wanted to have some cash. Well, we found out after this, he kept in styrofoam cups lots of money in the freezer.
Wow. And
that was his cold cash he'd always tell us about. And when they came in, I don't know if we want to get into that part of it now, but he put up a fight. Yeah. He tried to stop it, but he couldn't quite get there.
So you all must have known that whoever did this had to know they had money. So it wasn't a complete stranger just passing through.
Yeah, it's one of those that it sounds bad. But everybody knew they had money, but not the arrogance of like you see some people nowadays.
Flaunting cash.
Yeah, it was like, okay, Ed and them, if the bank says no, go to them, they'll help you out. They didn't flaunt it. He didn't drive big fancy cars, didn't have fancy stuff. But between the stores and him doing on cars and stuff, people knew there was money there. So it opened it up to where you thought, it could be anybody.
Yeah.
We don't know. But then you're up in the middle of nowhere. So you're kind of like, well, how would anybody know to do that? So there was a lot goes through your mind.
Yeah.
It does open doors. There's an old saying, find the motive and manage the case.
Yeah.
Because in Kentucky, you don't have to prove what somebody's motivation is, but it is what directs the case. So